Hi there, my name is Karen Lanoux from Attract More Now, and I'm so glad to be here with you today, and I'm glad that you're here with me too. And so, uh, who am I? What do I do? Well, I work with people, I work with entrepreneurs and executives all over the world to create crazy, amazing things in their life and in their business. And so they do this in a smarter and faster way so then they can actually start having fun in their regular life and do the things that they really want to do. So I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to start with a story. I worked once with a brilliant woman, and actually I work with brilliant women and men all the time, but I worked with a brilliant woman who wanted to change her job. She wanted to move into an executive position, and she thought that she was going to have to go through years, like more education, years of working in an assistant role to the executive role that she wanted, before she would actually finally somehow be able to do the work that she really wanted to do. And I questioned her on that. I said, I don't know if that's actually true. And so there's positions right now that you could be applying for. And she says, oh no, I can't do that. I just can't do that. I'm not ready, or I wouldn't have the qualifications. And so we talked about that a little bit. And here's the thing, is that once we kind of got through that idea that perhaps she didn't have the skills that she needed to, but in fact, maybe she did, what ended up happening is that she started to apply for jobs. She started talking to people within her organization and asking them questions about what it would take for her to get to move into that role. And very quickly, she found out that in fact, the beliefs that she had, the ideas that she had, were not true. And within the next year, what ended up happening is that she moved into the exact role that she wanted to, a higher level in a new city, doing exactly what she thought was way down the road. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about something that probably, if you've been in business, that you've heard about recently, which is unconscious bias or implicit bias. And I'll stick with unconscious bias mostly because really it's just about the stories. It's about our beliefs and our thoughts that we don't know, we actually haven't been aware that we have. And so therefore they're unconscious. And so what ends up happening is that we come to that point of starting to, I've been talking about this for years, but again, the kind of the buzzwords these days is subconscious bias or unconscious bias and implicit bias. Again, they're just stories. So right now we have thoughts and beliefs and stories about what we think is possible for us in our work or in our business. And I want you to start questioning that. This is a thing that I find that stops so many people from moving ahead. And that's why when I get to work with them, they move so much further, so much faster, because we start to kind of go through those stories and start to kind of break them down and actually start to realize that they are not true. So what I want to share with you today is what you can start to do about this on your own. So how do we know that we have stories, or what our stories are? We'll use phrases like the reality is, or the truth is, or this is the way it is. Okay, those are particular things that we might say to ourselves or to other people. The other thing that we might say to other people or to ourselves is this: well, this is just the way I am. This is just the way it is. This is the way it works out in the world. And I'll have people say, Karen, really, this is reality. Like, what are you talking about? That's when you know you have a story. And so you want to actually start kind of popping out of that and start questioning that. And start looking at what are the negative beliefs that you do have. What are the limiting beliefs that you have? So right now you have both. You have really positive beliefs that propel you forward. You also have negative beliefs that stop you, and that's really what I want to talk about, because we want to get past that. We want to help move you past those negative and limiting beliefs. So the number one thing is starting to be aware of, okay, what are those negative or limiting beliefs that I have? And where do I stop myself? Sometimes they're buried in procrastination, and sometimes, just like this other person, that this client of mine where she's just like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to get into this role for 6 months to a year or beyond. And so when we found out that was a limiting belief that was stopping her, that was procrastination on her part. And so starting to look at, okay, what are those beliefs? how do I stop myself? Or what negative beliefs do I have about myself? One, it could be nobody will listen to me. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I need more education. Again, it can be a gazillion things. And it's just starting to pay attention to what that is. Now, if you're on live with me, please punch in any questions that you have that in regards to what I'm talking about. And I'll answer that as we go along here. But the first thing is starting to be aware. It's like, okay, what's my awareness about this? What's my negative beliefs? What are my limiting beliefs? What do I think can't happen? Why do I think my business is not going where I want it to go? What are the excuses I'm making up? Why do I think my career is not going in the direction that I want? Do I think somebody's stopping me? Do I think I'm stopping me? I'm blocking myself. So again, just starting to be aware of what are those negative or limiting beliefs. The next thing you want to do is ask yourself some questions like, well, what if this isn't true? And what would happen then? Or what would I do if this wasn't true? And start kind of playing with that question. Now, with me, when I talk to people about asking questions and asking questions about themselves and their business, or in their business or in their work life, it's just asking the question and then go and do something else instead of trying to figure it out. Because here's the thing: when we try to figure things out, we're going to get the same information. We're going to get only what we know, and we're only going to access the information that we already think and believe. Back to that unconscious bias. And so, again, just start asking, what would I do if this wasn't true? See what bubbles up for you. And then you could also ask the question like, what action can I take if this isn't true? And then see what shows up. See what kind of ideas pop into your head, and then take action on them. Those are some immediate things that you can do right now to start to get past that unconscious bias, to get past your stories, past your limiting and negative beliefs that may be stopping you right now. Now, if they are stopping you right now, those, again, awareness, what is my negative or limiting belief about what I'm doing or where I want to go in life, in my business or my work, and then asking the questions, what would I do, what if this isn't true, or what would I do if this wasn't true, and what actions could I take if this wasn't true, and then again, take action on it. What I find is, though that's a start. When I'm working with my clients, I have all kinds of different tools that we use to kind of dig in and get through and eliminate those negative and limiting beliefs and stop those, get rid of the things that actually stop us. And that's why my clients tend to move way quicker than the average Joe in terms of their career path or their business. Now, I'll share another story with you. Years ago when I first started my podcast, my original podcast called The Law of Attraction Tips, I just thought, who's going to listen to me? Why would anybody listen to me? Who am I except some, gal in my, originally doing my, in my closet doing my podcast so I could have better sound. And I thought, who's going to listen to me? And you know what? For the last 10 years, since 2006, my podcast, in one way, shape, or form, has been in the top 10 on self-help in iTunes, again, since 2006. So obviously there was people out there who were willing to listen to me. But if I had listened to those limiting beliefs or that unconscious bias or that bias, those stories that nobody's going to listen to me, I can't do this, I don't have the confidence to do this. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here with you today. I wouldn't have been able to help people all over the world to create the lives that they really want. And I wouldn't be doing my business. That's just all there is to it. So that's how, what I did is I actually just took action. It's like, okay, I'm taking action in spite of. And that's what I want you to do today, is take action in spite of. Now, here's something I'd just like to offer to you. If you're wanting to move forward in your business or your work, and you're not getting where you want to go fast enough, because you know what, time runs out, right? Like, it just feels like time is speeding up, and as you get older, it's just the way it seems to happen for so many people. And so if you were serious about actually changing then, shifting that, be happy to chat with you and see if there's some way that we can actually use some of these tools and beyond to move you forward. So all you need to do is go to attractmorenow.com/book and book a time with me to talk. It's 45 minutes. There's no obligation for anything except to show up and let's chat about where you're at. And what I know is that from these sessions is people get lots of clarity. Some people end up working with me, some people don't, and that's okay. It's perfectly okay. I'm here to be able to, I just want to be able to help as many people as possible. And even if that's just having that one conversation with you. So just go to attractmorenow.com/book. And if you could, when you get into the section where you're booking your appointment, just put in bias at the bottom, so BIAS, so unconscious bias, in the comment section, so I know which particular live stream you've been watching that prompted you to come in and have a chat with me. And so then we can garner a conversation around that. All right, so until next time, it's been great being here with you on Facebook. What I'm going to be doing, or in this live stream, what I'm going to be doing is in the future, I'm going to be doing this often throughout July, maybe even beyond. And so, again, I'm really pleased to be here with you. I hope you enjoyed this. And please just plug in any of your comments down below. Some of you are here watching live, and some of you, are going to be watching after the fact. So I would love to hear any questions or any thoughts that you have about this. All right, until next time, go on and do your magic. Bye-bye.